Alright, welcome back everybody to Operation Doomsday. This is the KMT and USA turn 17. I don't think we have any housekeeping, so we will get straight into the turns. KMT has $4 to spend, and they're spending all 4 on 2 militia. KMT has 1 combat move, and that all of this is going to go into Hunan. So we're going to have 5 2s in our infantry, or actually they're at 1 no hits and 1 retreat, and then our fighter at 6 misses. We have the Japanese infantry at 4, and that misses. So we'll do our 4 infantry at 2 now, and that is no hits and 1 retreat. And we'll do our fighter at 6, and that misses. And we'll do the Japanese infantry at 4, and that misses. So we have 3 infantry at 2, all miss, 1 retreat, fighter at 6, and Japanese infantry at 4, and that hits. So we lose an infantry. We're down to 1 infantry and our fighter. In this attack, we will press, I guess. So we'll do the infantry, and that is not great. So we'll do the fighter, and that misses, and we'll do the Japanese infantry. And of course, that hits. So our fighter is dead. And we'll have 4 infantry and Kichao. Right, so we will collect $2 as KMT, or $1 rather, and we'll put those militia. We'll do 1 into Yunnan, and we'll just do 1 into Kichao. USA has $70 to spend, but first we did tech on Dice Maiden, and we got a success on heavy armor, taking it to stage 3, and we got a success on airborne doctrine, taking it to stage 1, and then everything else missed there. So I have $70. We are going to be building, or going to be spending all 70 on it. 2 infantry are being declared full and lease, getting 2 advanced artillery, another infantry, 2 subs. This militia is standing in for this minor port. This heavy strat bomber is standing in for the 2 stages that we're going to move a new heavy battleship up. This tank destroyer stands for completing this heavy battleship. We're then doing a actual heavy strat bomber, and then we're doing 2 militia upgrades and 3 militia. And that'll clear the bank. And we have quite a few combat moves as the U.S. So first we have the 79th Army going into northern Italy, along with our jet fighter. We have our heavy strat bomber from London flying 1, 2, 3, 4, and bombing the factory in Bavaria. Don't want to do anything with a strat rocket. I didn't actually look as far as attacks with this guy. I don't think we're going to do anything there attack-wise. So that'll be that. Our seaplane will fly 1, 2 and attack the advanced sub. And then I think that's got it for the Atlantic, although we are doing these sub ratings, so we're going to roll for these. We're at +1 on both. That is just completely off the board. Don't know where that die is. So that's a 3. So that's going to be 1 damage to Germany. Taking it up to 69. And then for the Pacific, we are going to have a few different combats here. Okay, so these 2 subs are going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. This coastal sub is going to come off rating and come down 1 and attack those as well. And then our 3 planes, our carriers, are going to attack these guys as part of our screening force. these 4 subs are going to go 1, 2, 3 and attack the 2 ships here in P50. The 8th fleet, assuming this is successful, is going to move into P32 as the continuing force and attack the ships there, with the exception that we're going to have 3 of our subs are going to be raiding that line. So we'll move the marker there and put 3 of the subs raiding the line, and the other ones are taking part in the combat there. And I have not heard back from Vet on whether or not he wants his subs to participate, so we'll keep that in mind when we're doing the combat. Try and save it for the last, see if he will respond in the middle of this. But anyway, that is all of our combat moves, I do believe. So we can go ahead and start. I guess if we're saving that for last, we will start in the European side of the board. So we have a heavy strat bomber bombing this factory. So we have 3 D6s and a D12 for the anti-air. So the strat bomber lives. The bomber deals 7-9 damage, which does get reduced by 5 because of improved construction. So it will deal 4 damage in total to the Bavarian factory. And then, oops. Oh, that is a 5 damage marker instead of a 1 damage marker. There we go. Alright. Now we'll do the attack into northern Italy. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 infantry at a 1 for the first round since it's mountains. We then have 2 tanks at 5, and we will have 1 jet fighter at an 8, which we will do in black, or not black, because we already have black for our infantry, so in brown. And the Italians will have 4 infantry, defending at 4, 2 mountains, defending at 5, and 3 militia, defending at 2. So we will roll our attack first. And all of our infantry miss. Too bad this was the first round, or those would have been some nice infantry hits. Let's see. We have 2 misses on our medium tanks, and our jet fighter hits. So we'll do the Italian response. Italians get 1, 2, 3 hits. So Italians will lose an infantry, and we will lose, or Italians will lose a militia. We will lose 3 infantry. And we'll go to round 2. So these are now up 6s, and these are now 2s. Jet fighter remains at an 8. That's going to be a nice infantry round. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 6 hits for us. That is very nice. Leaves them with 2. So now the Italian response, and these mountain infantry are now regular infantry, or roll at 4s instead of 5s, and then the 2 militia are still at 2. So that's 6 4s in black and 2 2s in red. And that's not a bad Italian response either. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 hits that we take. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. And 6 hits. So these guys take 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we'll go into round 3. We get 2 hits. that we need, and we have 2 guys at 4 left, and it's going to be both misses. So we will take over northern Italy with 2 infantry and 2 medium tanks. We'll put this here because we're about to have a lot of units in Normandy. And then that wants me to send pictures of the battle with the over here. Alright, so let's see, we will do this real fast. Right, and so while he makes his decisions there, we will go ahead and do our other Pacific attacks after we roll for our seaplane. So it will hit on a 3 or less, and that is a miss. So we can do our continuing or screening force first. So we have, this is a big old dice pile. So we have 2 subs at 3, a coastal at 2, 2 attack bombers at 7, and a fighter at 6. So, coastal, subs, attack, fighter. That's going to be 2 hits, 1 from attack, 1 from the fighter. So we'll do the TV destroyer in orange and the destroyer in black. And that's going to be misses. So we will kill these 2 ships, and the continuing force will get to continue. But first we'll do this attack. So we have 4 subs at a 3. The target selected 1. That's going to be 2 hits. Very nice. So we will clear these ships out. And then the Japanese have a battleship in green at 6 and a destroyer in red at 4. And that's going to be 1 hit. So we'll lose 1 sub there. Right, and we have not heard back from the vet after we sent those pictures, but he is working on it, so we'll give him time there. We'll go ahead and do our rating. So we have an even shot here, 3 go-arounds. So we'll do round 1. That's going to be no damage. So second sub is going to deal 3 damage, and the third sub is going to deal no damage. So that's going to be 3 damage on the Tokyo line for Japan, which is going to be -3. And then we'll clear these damage markers since it's our turn. So that's that. We can go ahead and do some of our non-combat moves, I guess, while we're waiting to see. I guess we could actually go ahead and do our first roll here, since that won't be affected. So we have 4 battleships at a 4, or at 8. And so that is going to be 3 hits, which is enough to kill the non-subs. And then he is going to have, or we can go ahead and see, we have 8 heavy cruisers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 6. And that's going to be 2 hits there. So we kill everything round 1 if he does, regardless if those subs participate or not. So we'll go ahead and do the ships that we know he has, which is a destroyer at 4 and 2 light cruisers at 5 in orange. That's going to be all misses. Very nice for us. So those 3 die. without doing any hits, and then we'll do the coastal sub in orange and the regular sub in black, just in case he wants them to engage. And so that is going to be coastal sub, I said, was in orange. So that's going to be one hit that we take if he elects to have those engage, which will be on, we'll just take it on one of our battleships and have it be damaged. So that would be the result of combat there. So we'll move into our non-combat moves. So we're going to have our attack transport and our regular transport pick up these 4 guys and move them to Midway. And then they're going to go on port in Midway. Our 3 destroyers in port in Hawaii are going to move down 1-2 and go into port in Wake Island. And then our destroyer that was in San Francisco is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. And he is going to just sit in the C zone at Wake Island. Our ships here are going to, or not our ships, but our units here are going to hop up on these transports. And they're going to move 1-2 into P-32. Actually, I need to the transports are going to move into P-32 with those units on them. That was supposed to be part of the continuing force. Let's see. And he has declined combat with the coastal. So it's still alive. And it's going to decline as well. So these guys will be there doing that. And then our planes are all going to land on the carriers. See, moved all of these, moved all of these. Sorry. Anyway, so I think that's got our Pacific moves all done. So we will go on over to the Atlantic non-combat moves. We are going to move our Paris infantry into Normandy and our Aquitaine infantry into Normandy. Our heavy strat bomber is going to land in Normandy. So it went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll put all these guys on the marker. I don't know why Normandy has a Great British marker on it. Great Britain should have only collected 43 instead of 44, and France should have collected 15 instead of 14. So Doomsday. We'll put all these guys on a marker. And then we're going to have these 3 guys come over on these transports, drop all those units off into Normandy. So 3 more infantry and 3 more advanced artillery. And then for our strategic naval movement, we're going to take this infantry and this advanced artillery and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Drop those off into Gibraltar and have the transport go into port in Gibraltar. And these transports are all in port here. And then this guy is going to move over into southern England and go into port there with the rest of these transports. So let's see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 units there, which I think is more than the number of blitzable units that can reach. So that should be decent enough there. Then destroyers. This destroyer is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and just hang out in A43. And this destroyer is going to come over 1, 2, 3, 4, and hang out in A21. And then that destroyer is going to stay there. So I think that has got everything. So we are going to say that's the end and start placing our buys. So this isn't real, this isn't real, this isn't real. So our miter port is going to be on Atu in Kiska. Our heavy strat bomber is going to be for London. Our heavy battleship is San Francisco. And then the 2 subs are in P-22. Our 3 units for ourselves, 2 advanced artillery and an infantry, are going to be in New York. We're going to have a militia go to the Caroline Islands. And then we have a militia and militia upgrade for Guam, as well as for Wake. So that's going to be those guys. And then our 2 Lend leases, we're going to be Lend leasing the French infantry and the FEC infantry. So French infantry and FEC infantry. So French infantry is pretty easy. We just start it from here and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into Normandy. The FEC infantry is going to go on a wild journey. So start here, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Gibraltar port, 1, 2, 3, Sierra Leone port, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, South Africa port, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Kuwait port, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 into, I guess it's just 4, into Calcutta. Since we did decide to adopt 4.2, the lease supply path rules. So that'll be that. So we will collect, I gotta get the USA roundo finally for a territory. I guess I had that for Caroline Islands already. Oh well. But yeah, we will add that in and put that right on top of northern Italy, because it is now ours. We will be collecting 64 plus 12, putting us at $76. And we now get to roll the end game die, since this is the end of turn 17. So normally the game will end on a roll of 1, and I think there's only one occupied capital, which is Sydney, of a major power. So if we roll a 2, it gets reduced to, so if we roll a 2, the game's also over. So we will use this die here and roll it and see what we get. And that is an 11. So the game will continue on into turn 18. And we will send it over back to the vet for Germany, turn 18, and what I am sure will be a very action-packed turn. A lot of different things that could happen and go on. So anyway, that'll be the turn for us, and we will send it over to him, and see you guys next time.